The views and opinions on this show are for entertainment purposes only. The only factual information is any story that has happened to AT2 or the parties involved. Other than that, go ahead and get you a drink, get you something to eat, just relax and enjoy the show. Let's have fun. All right, y'all, let's get real. What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. And yes, I'm your boy AT2. How everybody doing? How everybody living? How everybody feeling today? What's up, everybody? The reason why I asked, were you guys here is because the chat was showing 0, and I was like, wait, I just seen there are people waiting, and then I was all like, oh, maybe something happened, or maybe everybody watching somebody else. But I was all like, shit, what's going on? I don't mind if somebody else is live at the same time, because you'll watch the replay. It don't matter. But let me say what's up to the people. What's up, MB? What's up, Yorkie Mom? I ain't seen you in a minute. Thank you for coming. What's up, Stevie? Stevie, I ain't seen you either. Thank you for coming. Shout out to Winnie. Shout out to all my members, by the way. Y'all help keep the bills paid, so I got to shout y'all out. What's up, Casey? What's up, V? Who else we got? Mills. Thank you, Mills, for coming. I appreciate it. Yeah, no problem. I've been wanting to talk about, for those of you who don't know what Mills is talking about, Jacqueline and Trezelle West, the two murderers. I've been wanting to talk about them for a while now in the case, but the thing is that there's so much information, and so I'm waiting until the end to kind of give my opinion on everything. What's up, Charlie B? Thank you for coming. Princess, shout out to Princess. Casey, I got you. Cammy, thank you for coming. Sexy 60, we got you up in the building too as well. What's up, Rachel? Thank you for coming. And then shout out to everybody else coming later. If I miss you, I love you, all that stuff. What's up, Carolyn? I see you too. Caramel Apple. All right. I think it was a YouTube glitch. Yeah, YouTube been having issues and shit like that. And also, you can purchase your AT2 merch. Let's be clear. We got to be clear about that. And then also the stripes on the arms too. That's the design that I have for this one. What's up, Kay? What's up, Stephanie? What's up, Gracefully Blessed? What's up, Tracy? Thank you. By the way, do you guys like that I separate the Jaguar stuff from just the regular celebrity topics? Do you guys like that I separate it? Or do you want me to combine it and do one super long show? I should ask that as a poll question, but let me just ask you guys right now. I just want to make sure. Okay, you guys like that I separate it. Okay, got it. I like that I separated. And even if y'all said, no, do it together, I was going to say I'm separating. That was more of a rhetorical question. I should have asked that. But thank you guys for answering. I appreciate that. All right. So moving on. Let me see if my pictures are working today. I want to go ahead and talk about this Ed Sheeran versus Marvin Gaye and all this stuff about the Let's Get It On versus crying out, thinking out loud. Is that what the damn song? I don't even know what what is Ed? Google, what's Ed Sheeran song? Thinking Out Loud, or is it Crying Out Loud? Whatever it is, they said it was compared to Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On. And like the melodies are very similar. There's even a video of Ed Sheeran singing Let's Get It On to the same music while he's playing the guitar as, Crying Out Loud. So the songs are similar. I won't say they're the same, but they are similar. A lot of songwriters will draw inspirations from and melodies from songs already out there. Thinking out loud. Thank you. I appreciate that. I always get that confused with the Frank Ocean one. The tornado flew around my room before it came. I always get it confused with that one. That's why I get confused. So Thinking Out Loud is the song that sounds similar, and it's the exact chorus that sounds similar. Now, everybody was saying Marvin Gaye, Marvin Gaye, Marvin Gaye. It's actually Ed Townsend who is suing. Ed Townsend, his family, the estate, is suing. Ed Townsend was also the other songwriter. Marvin Gaye family has nothing to do with this. And I just found it crazy that everybody was putting Marvin Gaye, because even I was saying like Marvin Gaye, Marvin Gaye, Marvin Gaye, until I actually looked at it and I was like, no, it's Ed Townsend. That's who's suing. Now, Ed Sheeran, the jury decided with him, so he actually won. They did not find that the songs were similar. They dismissed the case, and it is what it is. He was even threatening to quit music if it was founded that it was similar. Now, I thought it was going to, what's up, Vegas? I thought it was going to go down a completely different way, because I don't know if you guys know, but The Shape of You, yes, he's the one that's saying, I'm in love with the shape of you. So that melody is actually from TLC No Scrubs. Now, this situation went down a little different, you guys. So basically what happened with the whole No Scrubs issue was that Ed Sheeran added Candy and Tiny to the song credits after the song got released and went platinum and all that stuff. He added them later on. So he kind of already seen like, oh shit, I might get in trouble for stealing the melody, because the chorus, I'm in love with the shape of you. And then the chorus said, I don't want no scrub. I didn't think they sounded similar, but someone played like a side by side. What's up, Dan? Shout out to Dan. Everybody on Facebook as well too. So when you find out that the melodies are similar, he had to add them to the songwriting for that song. So you gotta, be careful when you steal melodies from people and don't give them credit. Oh, Dan, that debate's still gonna go down. Don't even worry. All right. So anyway, he won, so he ain't gotta pay nobody, all that stuff. We get it. So that's with that situation. Okay. Our next topic that I wanted to talk about, we're going to talk about Cassidy. Now, Cassidy ain't had a song in a minute, a long minute. Shit, I was still in middle school when he came out. Yeah, and shit, I was in middle school a long time ago. I ain't gonna tell you how many years I was in middle. But anyway, so he basically had said, oh, when it comes to R. Kelly and stuff like that, everybody else who was messing around with high schoolers and stuff like that should be in jail too as well. This is an argument that a lot of people make. Like they say, like R. Kelly's team, also, including his managers, security, also the parents of the young girls should be in jail as well too. I'm all fine with that. Everybody going to jail, right? Everybody can go to jail. I'm cool with that. Boom. However, it seems that people be using this as an excuse to say what R. Kelly did was okay. And I never want to get it twisted or confused. So for me, I am cool with everybody else going to jail if they need to go to jail. However, we cannot say, oh, R. Kelly isn't the only one, or why is he going down and not everybody else? Well, he should go down and everybody else should go down, but this whole using that as a defense to basically protect a predator. I don't agree with that shit. That shit don't fly with me. You know, that shit does not fly with me. I don't like that at all. R. Kelly needs to go to jail because he needs to go to jail. We all know what he did, so I don't know why we're using this as an excuse. What's up, Kayla? Thank you for coming. But let me ask you guys real quick. Do you think that, well, let me put it this way. There's a lot of people who did effed up shit, right? But do you think that's an excuse for R. Kelly to not be in jail? Because everybody else did it and got away with it. Does that mean R. Kelly should not be in jail? Let me ask you guys. For me, it don't matter. Everybody needs to go to jail. Now, if you want to make a case for, okay, well, we need to go after everybody and take them down too as well, boom. I'm completely fine with that. I'm down for that. We can do that. However, a predator is a predator and they need to go down. Why are we pretending like comparing apples and oranges? If you did wrong, you should go to jail. So I always found that R. Kelly argument weak. I find it very weird, almost like you're excusing it. I've even heard some women say, oh, well, I was 16 and I had a 30-year-old boyfriend. You were being taken advantage of. If you were 16 and you had a 30-year-old boyfriend, you were being taken advantage of, and it was never okay. I want to let you know it was never okay. And I think there's some kind of correlation to it. Oh, well, that's just how things were. There's a lot of things that were how they were, but that doesn't, hell, let me even give you this one. Slavery was okay at one point. Some people think it's still okay, but slavery was okay at one point. So should we then say, okay, that excuses it? Like, that doesn't make any sense. That's not a relevant argument saying, oh, well, it was a time period and that was okay. No, it wasn't okay. And back in the day, it was not okay. You know what I mean? Like, I think after the 1800s, they started putting it in place that you couldn't date minors and stuff like that. I think after the 1800s, it wasn't okay. So you can't even say, oh, yeah, back in the day, unless you go into like medieval times and BC and shit like that or something like that. But other than that, no, the shit was never okay. So that argument that this person did it, so everybody should go down. Listen, whoever go down because that's a crime at the end of the day. I'm sorry. I don't know whatever way you want me to put it. What's up, ID Jones? Thank you for coming. Right, Princess. Thank you for saying it, Princess. They say that because they secretly approve of it. They think that it's okay. They think that it's okay. So, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. And that it's not a correlation. It's not okay. It was never okay. Mm-hmm. Right. What if the woman still feels as an adult that she is okay and doesn't feel abused or taken advantage of? Do we have a right to tell her she's wrong? Yes, we definitely have a right to tell her that she's wrong. It doesn't matter if, okay, well, it was before and then she grew up and was all like, oh, I fell in love. I believe that adults should mess with adults and teenagers should mess with teenagers. I draw a fine line. I think that it's crazy that anybody in their 30s would want someone in their teens, even if you are 18. I know for me, being 34, I think 18 is way too young. Yes, 18 is legal, but I think that's way too young for somebody like me and so far in advanced in my life. You know? And I think also too, you basically when you are messing with a younger person, I believe that you're mentally trying to get in their head and f with them, and almost it grows them up faster, and it's almost like a manipulation tactic because it's easier for me to swindle a 18-year-old than it would be a 30-some-year-old. And so I think that even when it comes to that, it's still predatory to me. And that's just my feeling. It might be legal, but it's a little weird. Disagree. I don't think I have the right to make her feel bad about something she doesn't personally feel bad about. Now, in the grand scheme of things, would I care? Okay, let me preference it this way. If I meet you later on in life and I just know you from today's standard, I wouldn't know what to think. Now, if you tell me like, hey, well, I was 15 and he was 30, and then once I became of age, we've ended up staying together and now we have a long loving relationship. No, that's still no, it ain't right. It ain't right. It still wouldn't be right. I still would be all like, y'all cool and stuff like that. I actually will walk away from situations that are not right. If I feel morally it's not okay, then I'm never going to be able to rock with you. I would never be okay with that. No, that is not okay at all. Like, okay, so me, I'm not physically making her, beating her up, but will I have a few words like, hey, like that's not cool, and she happens to feel bad about it. That's, oh well. Who gives a damn? I don't care about your feelings. I'm giving you my personal opinion. Now, my suggestion would be don't tell me, or you might want to keep that a secret and not tell people. That would be my shit. Let me just put it like that. What does my shirt say? Let's be clear. Let's be clear about it. I don't care about your opinions. When it comes to that kind of stuff, there's a hard line and you draw it. No. If you want to say back in the day was okay or people did that kind of stuff, boom, I'm cool with it. Whatever you think. But for me, no. When you know better, you do better. So if you know better, then motherfucking do better. That's basically what it is, y'all. And no, I'm not angry. I'm just getting my point across. I just wanted to say that before. I was like, 18, you're angry. No, I'm not angry. Okay. So moving on to Tucker Carlson. The younger person will never understand that dating someone your father's age is the P word because their frontal lobe isn't connected. And the older person, no, exactly. It's that access denied gets it. It's that whole manipulation thing. So you'll think it's okay, but it's not okay. So I want to talk about this Tucker Carlson thing because everybody has been talking about this whole, oh, he's a racist, and did you see the text messages that he leaked or whatever? Now, as far as him being a racist, who cares? Like, it's not something that it's not like, oh my God, he's a racist, I didn't know. No, it's apparent and obvious. If you ever watch the shit, well, I don't watch it, but if you ever heard the clips and the sound bites, okay, we understand. We know what it is. So the text messages that were probably leaked by Fox News, let's just say it, because they want to make him look like the bad guy. He mentions about Antifa, right? He mentions that there were like some guys beating up some Antifa dudes or whatever, Antifa dude. And he said he found himself like cheering the guys on to beat them up. And he was kind of, having this thought about himself all like, wait, I don't understand, like, why I feel this rage. Like, I wanted them to beat up the Antifa guy. And, he's talking to a producer, whoever the producer is. And then he said something to the effect like, this is not how white people fight. This is not what white people, he said either this is not how white people fight or this is not what white people do. And I think we have to have an honest conversation about white people. And of course, this is not for all, but especially when it comes to the others, the colored people. When it comes to the colored people, in their mind, especially in that Fox News round, black and whatever, especially black, because I'm black, so I can speak from a black experience, we are looked at as violent animals. We're not looked at as human. That's why that situation went down in the New York subway, which I'm not going to get into that because I'm still trying to process all of that. And seeing those kind of videos affect me. You know what I mean? But anyway, we're seen as violent. We're seen as animals, blah, 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 blah. And so for him, because he identifies as white, he goes like, wait, we don't do this kind of stuff. We're well-to-do people. We don't fight. We use our words. We're not violent people. This is what they think in their head. Of course, this is not true, but this is what they think in their head. This is how white people think. This is what they think in their head. And so I guess that was the part that was supposed to be racist or whatever. And they're trying to speculate like, oh, these text messages or whatever. But what they're also not telling you is that he also was talking about executives at Fox and stuff like that. And that's what they really didn't like, that he was talking about them. As far as him saying that white people don't fight or whatever, I highly doubt it. Fox. I mean, does anybody think that Fox News went like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that? Does anybody think that? No. They didn't give a damn about that. They didn't care. But because they fired him, they have to then, of course, Fox has not, again, I have to say allegedly, they have not confirmed they're the ones to leak out all the text messages and stuff like that. But come on now. You got to just, whenever you fire somebody, you have to dig up their history and basically slander them. That's what it is. It's unfortunate, but that's what happens. Whenever you fire somebody, you got to dig up stuff and, anything that would hurt them hurt them or hurt their reputation to then justify it. That's what they're doing. But again, like I said, he was just the fall guy. He was just the fall guy. It was nothing else but, okay, well, you have to be the fall guy. We got rid of you. Now we solve the issue. That's how they feel about it. Okay, moving on to the next. Actually, I'm going to save that one for later. Okay, I'm going to do this one. So Tori Bowie, sprinter, died yesterday at the age of 32. Now, there was an article, and I forgot where I got it from. I'm sorry, you guys. But her neighbors were saying that she was actually pregnant, 7 to 8 months pregnant. Now, we didn't hear anything about this. Yesterday, they just said, prayers, and everybody sent their condolences and stuff like that. But they were saying that her neighbors, she lived in Florida, her neighbors said it looked like she was carrying a basketball and she had to at least be about 7 to 8 months pregnant. So we don't know if the baby survived, or I'm guessing not. But the article that I've seen, and now I feel bad because I don't have it here, but they're reporting that she was actually pregnant, 7 to 8 months, allegedly. So I'm just thinking like, man, like what was going on? And still, they haven't released the cause of death. They haven't said what exactly happened to her. But even then, whenever they say, there's they don't have a reasoning or they're keeping the reasoning private, our minds automatically start working. I've seen all the conspiracy theories and stuff like that. But also, if she was pregnant, I just can't imagine her wanting to do anything to herself or there's obviously more to this, and man, hopefully, and that's another thing too. I think because I do it a lot too, and I think because I'm a man. But if a woman gains a little weight, we can't say that she's pregnant. So I have to again say allegedly she could have just put on some weight. I don't know if she was actually pregnant. But that's what the article was saying. And I do apologize for not having it here, but I will look it up. Let me see if I can find it while I'm talking about it. Yeah, but this is definitely sad though. Like I was all like, man, like 32. I always worry about these things because I think in general I'm afraid of death. And I know I need to work that out with a therapist. And maybe I'm not the only one, but I always just think like, damn, whenever it's somebody younger than me or just a few might be just a few years older than me, I always just think like, what they had so much more life to go, you know? And I know we don't have a time period or know when we're going to leave this earth, but you just think like, man, they had so much more life. Like, what happened and why did this happen? You know, you always want answers. And I don't think it's just an age thing. I think it just in general we want answers. But man, if this is true that she allegedly was pregnant, and then also who was her partner, who was she with at the time, that's another question too as well. Stephanie said I had to have a major organ removed, and before I did, I was oh, hold on, I moved. Removed before I did the entire year prior. I was asked daily how many more weeks I had left of my pregnancy. Oh, see, yeah. Um, you probably look bloated in the stomach, and so they thought that you were pregnant. That's why I was all like, yeah. If you don't know for a fact, it's not nice to say like you're pregnant and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's always nice to uh, wait until they tell you, damn it. Sometimes they just don't want to tell you. Just wait until they tell you. That's probably the best thing to do. Um, oh man, you guys, my computer. Okay, it's not pulling up like I want it to. And then, of course, the way they found her, someone had called and did a wellness check. That's how they were able to find her as well, too. Oh man. All right, I can't pull it up. The how I found it, it was actually an alert on my phone and it came up and I clicked on it and I was all like, yo, like what the heck, like she was pregnant, like I ain't heard this, like this was the first time. So I don't know if this is breaking news. I don't want to say this is an exclusive because this is probably something that um it's kind of like you don't want to be right about something like this, especially if the baby wasn't isn't here on this earth anymore. It's not something you quote unquote want to be right about. Um Anyway, moving on, I wanted to talk about Theresa Randle. You guys might know her from all of the Bad Boy, not trilogy, because now there's going to be a fourth one, Bad Boys 4. There was news that Tasha Smith down here actually replaced her and is now going to play Martin Lawrence's wife. And everybody was kind of like, well, why is she going to play the wife? Because the wife isn't Teresa still alive? Yes, she is alive. There's been a video, and I don't know how recent the video is, but there's a video floating around of her basically. They kept saying wheelchair, but what it was. Have you guys ever seen one of those? I'll be at the casino, so I've seen them a lot. It's one of those walker things, right? But then you can turn it around and you can sit in it like a chair. So they keep calling that a wheelchair, but it's not. I don't know the proper term, but I think it's a walker, right? It's a thing where you can push and it has a seat on top and you can sit down on it. That's what she was sitting in. And so then people were speculating, like, oh, maybe she's on drums, and for me, she was dressed down, but I don't want to say that she was on drugs. And like people are saying that she's down and out, she's doing bad. Um, she don't look like herself and stuff like that. She was always skinny, so I can't really say like, oh yeah, she lost a ton of weight and stuff like that. She had a hat on, and it looked like her hair might have been tucked underneath. She had like a sweatshirt on, and then like some maybe like leggings or something like that. So you never know. She could have been down there trying to help rather than, it's one of those situations where somebody could be struggling with something. And it probably was a thing where she was probably struggling in private, but because of the way they kind of announced that Tasha Smith was now taking on her role, it got people curious. And then somebody probably was all like, oh, well, I have a clip, or I found her here, and, boom. And it's a very unfortunate situation. I think also too, it happens with a lot of actors. Like we see them for 1 minute and then they have this fall, or not even a fall. They just totally disappear off the face of the earth, and you're like, damn, what happened to blah blah blah? And because the way that this has went down, how Tasha replaced her, that's what got people talking on. Like, wait, what's going on? You know. I automatically thought she was in a car accident when I saw the video. Oh wow, I didn't even think about that, shy girl. Wow. Mm. Wow. Yeah. I like I said, I can't say. I because it was not a wheelchair, like I said, and I think Vernice said it, it's a seated walker. That's what I guess that's the proper term. A seated walker. That's what it was. It was not a wheelchair. You know what a wheelchair looked like. But it was one of those seated walkers. So I don't know what exactly happened or what went down. Or it could have been a thing where she was standing up and then somebody was all like, hey, you want a seat? And she sat in there. The clip is just very short. It's not even like a long clip or anything like that. Let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, the clip is very short. Like the clip is so short, all you can do is basically draw conclusions. And of course, when I try to pull it up, okay, I think it's something wrong with my computer. Dang it, what's going on? Okay, I found it. Right, pull up in just a minute. Oh, did everybody hit the like button? While we wait for me and my slow computer, did everybody hit the like button? I didn't get drugs, maybe health issues though. Okay, health issues. Yeah. I didn't get drugs from it. No, she needed the walker. Her legs look very frail and unhealthy. It looks like she is among homeless people. Yes. That's what it's called. A rollator. Okay. A rollage. Is it rollator or rollator? Okay, rollator. Okay. Thank you, Unstoppable. Okay. Maybe she's just aging and needs assistance. Her face looks drawn in though. Oh, okay. Now, what I will say is that did she look like herself? No, she did not look like herself. However, I can't say that she was, you know, um, on drugs. I don't want to say that. Health issues, yeah, it did seem like, something was a little off, but I can't say drugs. It's kind of like one of those things you don't want to put some on somebody because you don't want it to be true and you don't want something to happen. Okay, here's the video. Let me pull it up. Let me remove it. Hold on, you guys. And then you can't really make out too much what she's saying.
She ain't far. She he went to street that car goes a different moments. Damn, man. Okay, so your mama need to come get you. How about that? Your mama, she ain't far. She he went to street that car goes a different moments.
So she said something like, "Then your mama need to come get you," or something like that. That's what she said. But it really wasn't anything to where we could make out like, oh yeah, she must be off her rocker or she must be going through some kind of depression. Like it's not enough here that I would be all like, oh yeah, she on some kind of drugs or something's wrong with her, blah blah blah. Uh, I mean, shit. That's what we do a lot with celebrity gossip. We draw conclusions and shit like that. But this one, how like there's certain celebrities where you are like, yo, I'm just gonna stay away from this one. I ain't going to do A, B, C, and D. Like, I have never heard anything problematic about her where I would want to put anything bad out in the universe. The only thing that I want to put out there is please pray for her. Hopefully she's okay. Even if she is okay, you could still use prayers. You know what I mean? It is nothing wrong with praying with people, so praying for people. So if you guys can just put the prayer emoji in the chat, that'll be great. It's not like I know if she's watching this or not, but I at least wanted to say that. So if you guys can please do that for me, I appreciate that. 30 seconds. All right, thank you guys. I appreciate that. Also, shout out to everybody in the chat. If I forgot you when you came in, I definitely love y'all. Thank you. Anybody who super chat, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, I will thank you later as well too. You already know that. So if I missed it, I love you and I will thank you. All right. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about Eboni K. Williams. Remember when I was at the hotel in Reno? I couldn't play it for you guys, but I want to go ahead and play it for you guys now. So this was the initial interview with Eboni K. Williams and Ayanla. She was actually interviewing Ayanla, and this is where she said she would only date the bus owner and not the bus driver. Now, what Eboni K. Williams is doing, because she went on the Breakfast Club and she doubled down. You got to remember, Eboni K. Williams is a lawyer. And so what lawyers do, they don't necessarily lie, but they double speak. They will then use big words to try to confuse you and basically reiterate a point where there is no point to try to confuse you and trip you up. Not all lawyers, like Stephanie's a good lawyer. Not all lawyers, just 99.9% of them. So you got to remember that when you hear Eboni speak, y'all. Here we go. Let me go ahead and pull up the clip. It might start from the beginning. So, I mean, it might start from the middle. So I'll play it twice. Let me see. Oh, did it pull up? Here we go. Oh, no sound, of course.
Responsibility to give us what we need instead of us building together. I can build with a bus driver. I have my little stash over on the side in my prenup, but I could build with a bus driver. Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
If he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, he treated me well, I would date a bus driver. But we think that it's another human being's responsibility to give us what we need instead of us building together. I could build with a bus driver. I'd have my little stash over on the side in my prenup, but I could build with a bus driver. Would you date a bus driver?
Okay. So I'm going to say something. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Now, and thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate you. Now, this is what I want to say about it. Now, I think this goes with saying when it comes to women in dating. As a man, we're never told like, oh, you need to make sure her finances are good. I know, at least for me, if there's any men out there, I've never had that conversation as far as you need to make sure her finances are good. But I think for women, a lot of times they are told, girl, you need to make sure he got money. You need to make sure he cashing out. You need to go around here and be a city girl. I think women are taught that they need to go out there, get the bag and make sure the man got money and take care of you and all this stuff. It's just a thing that women are told. You know, as a man, I'm never told that about a woman, but women are told that about men. And so it's an honest conversation. I think that Eboni still carries what she's told, like, you need to date a man with money and da 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 da. And so she's carrying on that. Now, I think like I was saying before, her disposition and the way she was kind of like, oh, if he owned the bus, I think her demeanor in it was what turned people off. And Ayanla even made a joke. She was like, you know, I would make sure I had some stashed away in my prenup, but if he was loving, he was this, it was that. But I feel like for certain women, they're not taught to look for love. They're more taught to look for security. I don't want to say money, security, that you can live a certain lifestyle. You never really hear too much of a woman building up a man. They kind of want a man that's already built. Didn't K. Michelle say, you can't raise a man, he's already, you know, she said all that shit, right? So they're not trying to raise a man. They want a man that's already a man. They want a man and not a boy. Now, did Eboni articulate this in the way that is appeasing and what everybody wants to hear? No. And I think also too, which I'm going to play the Breakfast Club interview, a little bit of it. When you talk about building up Black people and empowering Black people, but then you talk about, oh yeah, I wouldn't date the bus driver or anything like that. It's kind of like, well, why wouldn't you date the bus? Like, what's wrong with the bus driver? That gets people questioning and get them wondering, like, why would you not date the bus driver? You know, what's wrong with the bus driver? And I've seen some of you guys say bus drivers make good money. Yeah, they do. And that was the other thing too. A bus driver, I wouldn't even consider that on the low end. And I know I'm kind of double speaking now because now I'm going to say something offensive. I wouldn't consider a bus driver the same as a McDonald's worker. Mind you, I heard McDonald's worker making like over $20 now. That's what I heard. But I wouldn't put that on the same level. A bus driver, I would think like that's a job that comes with retirement, pension, all that good stuff. You know, everything that you work for hard for so you can retire and have a good life. But the way she downplayed a bus driver made it seem like, oh, well, I wouldn't date that. Or she could have just simply said, oh, well, I don't hang around, you know, in those circles with bus drivers, which would be true. But let's not degrade bus drivers. And then her reasoning saying, like, oh, I want somebody with aspirations, with bigger dreams and goals, and not someone who got C's and D's. I'll go ahead and play that for you guys. Hold on.
It's off as women and who they are.
Be that Black America, regular and typical, being good enough for us. Well, see, that's called white supremacy. And in this case, it takes the form of conditioning Black Americans to happily accept being a permanent American underclass. But see, because I know the truth about Black folk in America, no, average is not and will never be good enough for me. And the gag is, I don't think it's good enough for you either.
Okay, I'm going to let it play again.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with driving a bus. My mother Gloria drove one for years. But could it be that Black America has been sold a narrative of average, regular, and typical being good enough for us? Well, see, that's called white supremacy. And in this case, it takes the form of conditioning Black Americans to happily accept being a permanent American underclass. But see, because I know the truth about Black folk in America, no, average is not and will never be good enough for me.
There's a lot to unpack with that.
Good enough for you. So out of the 50,000 plus comments posted on social, I only saw a handful that even considered the possibility of a bus owner being a more aspirational position and recognizing that I am actually speaking and pouring into the ascension of Black men when I said what I said. But see, no, some of y'all were too busy naming and shaming me personally and Black women in general as undesirable, gold diggers, and much worse. Now, I suspect that some of y'all are the same men that were bringing home C's and D's on your report cards, only to then be coddled by parents that said, well, that's okay, as long as you're doing your best. Well, listen, I love and believe in the excellence of Black men. So no, my dear, C's and D's or any other form of mediocrity is not okay. No, I will not create a soft place for you.
All right. So it's that mediocrity and mediocre in those words that she's saying. First of all, I want to address the whole white supremacy thing and thinking that it's okay just to be regular and all this stuff. Now, if someone is driving a bus and they choose that career and they choose that life and they're making a living and they're able to feed their families, able to feed, you know, put food on the table, pay their bills, I would not call that a mediocre life. Now, is it extravagant? Like, you know, you're going, you know, traveling places, living in $1 million homes? No. But I would not say that's mediocre or you're just fine with just being a bus driver. I think if you choose to be a bus driver, you still have to have a skill set because you have to know how to drive. And especially knowing how to drive a big ass bus, I know I could not do it. I'd be hitting shit, running over people. I couldn't do it. So being a bus driver, I will say takes skill. Any driving job takes skills. How many people do we know that have a license that probably should not be driving? There's a lot of them out there. And so for you to try to degrade the bus driver and be like, well, it'd be more aspirational to be the bus owner. Okay, well, what if he was a driver and then he worked his way up to a management job? And he's the person basically dictating who's going to drive this route and that route. Is that still not good enough for you? And again, I know where she was trying to go with the white supremacy thing, but it's a different argument and her argument fell flat. I'll give you guys a personal example. Will Joseph. Damn, I feel attacked. I'll give you guys a personal story. I remember doing like a temp job and working at this warehouse, right? And just seeing like the way the workers were treated, you're treated like a number. At any job, you're treated like a number, right? But it just hits you differently when it's mostly the colored folks at the bottom, and then your bosses, your managers, your leaders are all white and they're telling you what to do. I don't care what people say, and maybe there's not a quote unquote race component of it, but you cannot tell me how I feel about it if all the colored folks are all doing the hard labor job and then all the bosses are white being able to tell us and dictate. It's a certain feeling that you get, and you know, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. So I understand from her from that standpoint, wanting to, you know, shoot for higher and, you know, be a leader, be the owner, be this and be that. However, that's not everybody. Everybody is not going to make the millions of dollars, you know. Everybody's not going to make millions and millions of dollars. That's why they call it the 1%, because only the 1% is in that 1%. We all are not going to be 1%. That's just the truth. If we can wake up every morning and still be alive on this earth, hell, I call that a win. Whether employed, unemployed, self-employed, whatever, if you wake up every morning and you like take a deep breath and be like, I woke up this morning, that is a win. Shit. Let's just put it out there. That's a win. So for her trying to uplift us, but then shit on us at the same time, it just doesn't work. And I'm going to say another thing too. We kind of all live in a capitalistic world. And Eboni is probably a capitalist, which, you know, that's the kind of system that we live in, right? I'll give you another example. Beyonce. And this kind of goes with the whole empowerment, trying to empower people and stuff like that, right? She's a lot of person that talks about uplifting Black women, uplifting, you know, Black people in general, making sure that we own things, making sure that we do this and being smart with our money. However, with being smart with our money, why are you charging as much for your tickets as much as somebody mortgage? You know, $2,200 is somebody mortgage. $1,500 is somebody mortgage. $1,100 is somebody mortgage. Why are you charging people, if you care about us spending our money wisely and stuff like that, charging that? Now, you have the option. You have the option to go or not go. But it gets a little funny when your messaging does not align with your bank account and shit like that. Does Beyonce deserve all that money and stuff like that? Yes, of course she does. But this is where it gets tricky with a lot of these people when they talk about Black empowerment and shit like that. And their ticket prices and the stuff that they're doing does not align with the people. They still are capitalists. Another capitalist, Jay-Z. Let's talk about her husband. Jay-Z, you know, talks about uplifting Black people, and, you know, even in one of his songs on the Carter's album is they rather work for the man than work for me. And then you're broke if not everybody else is a millionaire. Talk about uplifting the people and stuff like that, right? I know I kind of messed it up when I said that, but you get the point. Let's be honest about this too. Rock right, Rock Nation strikes again, right? But let's be honest about this too. Remember when he was the music, well, he still is. I forgot what his exact title, but he's like the music director of the NFL. And they asked him about Kaepernick kneeling. And he goes like, oh, well, I think we're past kneeling. He said that he thought we were past kneeling. Basically, you know, he talked about how in his music and just in general, he talks about you know, the social injustice, the way black people are treated by the cops. But then he says, we are past kneeling, talking about referencing Kaepernick, right? But then a year later, we end up with George Floyd. So were we really past kneeling, or was that just because you were getting a paycheck and they might have told you to say something, or you were trying to who you are and what you align with does not always align with what you do. What you say does not always align with what you do. And so when he said that, I kind of looked at him like, really? And then, like I said, obviously, fast forward to everything that has happened, not even just George Floyd, but everything that happened before and after that. No, we're not past it. We still have a problem in this country. You know what I mean? So I just think about those things when I think about these people that are supposed to be leaders. Let's talk about Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm just kidding. We ain't gonna deal with that today. No. Not today. We'll do that another day. Not Dr. Umar, at least not today. Okay, but here's the Breakfast Club interview I'm gonna play for you guys.
Or brother this, and black man this, and the premise this, and this, that, and the other. That's all to the side of how you felt about that quote unquote average job, right? And I'll be honest with you, right? And one of the comments that I said, and maybe I'm not sure, right? The guy was like, you talk about all this about lifting a brother up and lifting this up and white supremacy and what you do for our people. And then the first thing the brother said was, but your fiance was white. And I'm sitting there like, how do you talk about how much you're uplifting and how much you're going for black people, but that's not necessarily what you're even looking for?
Well, first of all,
Paging Dr. Umar, damn.
Well,
No,
let's address it.
And
Let's not skip a beat. So I would love to know how you, Envy, know what I'm looking for, because we never had the conversation.
I don't know. I'm telling you what people are saying on comments, what I've read, and I'm talking for them. I'm not a bus driver. I'm speaking for the average person out there, because I feel for them, because the bus driver to understand what people were mad about and understand what people were upset about. So when you're talking about all this brother this and the black man this and the white supremacy this and this, that, and the other, that's all to the side of how you felt about that quote unquote average job, right? And I'll be honest with you, right? And one of the comments that I said, and maybe I'm not sure,
let me go to the next clip.
He was the average person, or what keeps these lights on here on the Breakfast Club.
That's right.
They keep me booking shows.
Nobody is saying, okay, first of all, this is not about you booking shows.
I'm just telling you how I feel. So when you shit on the people that
first of all,
with me,
Envy, you're dead ass wrong for framing it as me shitting on them.
You don't think I was shitting on them?
I know it. First of all, I know it wasn't. I think what you're saying right now is irresponsible. I think what you're saying is irresponsible.
Envy,
I think what you are framing right now in this moment is highly irresponsible. Because if you listen, I'm going to tell you. Because if you were to listen to all of the full Yana interview, the full sidebar, the full episode of Holding Court, nowhere in any of that commentary did I say a cross or negative word about the working class of Black America, of America broadly, or Black men. I'm going to get to the why was my fiance. Envy, let me finish this statement.
You know what
I'm going to get to.
Just because you didn't mean to hurt somebody, somebody doesn't mean you didn't hurt a community. The average person, or what keeps these lights on here on the Breakfast Club.
That's right.
They keep hurt a community.
I
can say anything about somebody. I didn't mean to hurt you, but if you hurt people, you hurt people. If people feel a way about you, they feel a way about you, because those people that you talked about are the people that buy your books, that listen to this show, and they're hurt.
Ebony, what about words like average, mediocrity, typical, and the bigotry or low expectations? I think those are the words that hurt the working class.
You can sit here and say, no, I didn't hurt nobody. You hurt people out there that buy your books and follow you and support you.
You asked me to be quiet. Y'all, please. Y'all asked me to be quiet. I listened to your full statement. I understand you have a feeling about it.
22 minutes, and I just spoke for 60 seconds.
She is here to talk to us.
I know, but I just spoke for 60 seconds.
We got ours off already. Let Ebony talk.
I'm just returning what she said. Don't act like I didn't let her speak. She spoke for 22 minutes.
Go ahead.
Okay, so they didn't really have Ebony's response in there, but she did talk about how, she said the word mediocre, but it's nothing wrong with mediocre. She said people put a negative connotation on the word mediocre. Mediocre just means, okay. So we can play semantics with the words and stuff like that. But when you say you're mediocre, or you're just okay, or you allude to somebody just being regular, We know they don't take that shit well. Let's just be honest about that. So, that's also a part of the interview where she was playing semantics with her words and stuff like that, talking about, well, people put a negative connotation on mediocre. I didn't say there was anything wrong. Yeah, you didn't say there's anything wrong, but the way you say if he owned the bus. Now, you didn't say, yeah, of course I would date a bus driver if he was doing X, Y, and Z. But you literally said if he owned the bus, saying that him driving the bus, something is wrong with it. And then also in that Breakfast Club interview, they try to frame it as Ayanla asked her a trick question. She did not ask you any kind of trick question. She just asked you a damn question. Would you date a bus driver? And you said no. No, you said if he owned the bus. You said it without saying it. So you want to pretend like, oh, that's not what I really meant. But we heard you even say the whole C and D. I played it earlier for you guys, the whole thing about the C and Ds. Like, oh, you think that it's okay to be mediocre because, you got C's and D's. She also had posted something where the black medium income is like the lowest. It's the lowest, ranked at the bottom, right? The home income, right? Okay. So I understand that argument, but that kind of has nothing to do with your dating preference. Just say, hey, I want to date a particular. I think if she just came out and said, hey, I want to date a particular person in this rank, blah, 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 blah. This is what I'm looking for, and this is what I expect. Boom. Some people still might not have liked it, but it is what it is. Like I said before, you can't hate her for her preference. And I don't hate Eboni for her preference or anything like that. But when you try to defend yourself and you make it worse, some people just need to shut up and just not say anything and just let shit play out. Because when you try to speak and then try to clarify what you mean, it made it worse. Because what did getting C's and D's have to do with anything? There's people in college who got C's and D's. I didn't finish college, but I know I had some C's and D's in college. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people in college who had C's and D's. So you saying the whole C's and D's and you're just okay with being mediocre. Do you know that there's some people who have a college degree and still didn't end up, doing some kind of office job? Hell, there was people. I remember when I was working at Old Navy, there were still people there that had degrees working at Old Navy. And it was kind of like, you got your degree and you working at Old Navy? I even looked at them sideways, but I totally get it and I totally understand it now. Somebody said Bush was a CC, right? I remember hearing that when I was younger. Right. Exactly. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. And I think it's an honest conversation to have with a lot of these Black activists or so-called activists. I feel that they look down on Black people. I think Dr. Umar looks down on Black people. I think Tamika Mallory looks down on Black people. I think Sean King, even though they say he's not Black, I think he looks down on Black people. Like, I think it's one thing to preach it, but there's another thing to live by it. And we live in a society where being Black is wrong. Being Black is not okay. Being Black is a bad thing. And so us as Black people, we look at other Black people all like, oh, I don't want to be them. I don't want to be that kind of Black. I don't want to be dark skinned. I don't want to be light skinned. I don't want to be this. I don't want to be that, because it's ingrained in us, unfortunately, that being Black is wrong and it's a bad thing. Whew, it's a deep conversation. I had started this comment because I wanted to pull it up. So Blue Girl said, Black people are at the bottom in every category, including education. We can do way better to improve our financial and power status. Black men don't be wanting to date a bus driver either. Okay, so a couple of things with that. I'm totally fine with what you said. However, the whole being at the bottom of the list in every category, blah, 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 blah. That doesn't equal to you having a long-lasting, loving relationship. You can date somebody rich and still be in a shitty situation emotionally, blah, 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 blah. And if you're even financially good, you can lose it all. There's a lot of that happened, especially in '07 when the market crashed and all that stuff. There's a lot of people who had it and then lost it all. So that doesn't equate to anything. And then as far as a black man don't want to be dating a bus driver, I can't say that's true. I would date a bus driver. What's wrong with that? I don't think that's a bad thing. So I would have to disagree with that portion. But again, the whole being at being at the bottom in every category and stuff like that, that's a different conversation. That's not the same conversation as if you would date this person. Us building up each other as black people is one conversation. You dating a bus driver is totally different. And I think people are conflating those two things about uplifting black people and whether you would date a bus driver are two different things. I don't consider it that the same thing. And maybe I'm wrong. Like I said, you guys can disagree or agree. I don't care. But for me, it's two different things. I drove the buses though. I just got a proposition 2 weeks ago. He said I'd probably start off making 4K a month. Oh wait, 4K. I would date Princess. She making 4K a month. Shit, that's more than I make. Shit. Call me. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with a bus driver at all. Oh, that's not even full time, and that's 4,000. Damn. What's full time? Charlie Brown said, I seen some sexy black man bus driver. She sent them iron and press pants and shit. It's fine early in the morning. Oh my God. Y'all are crazy. But yeah, like, come on now. Like, some of the shit that y'all be thinking and saying, like, sometimes it's better just not to say shit. And I have a feeling, like, for me, when I say some controversial shit, I know it's controversial. I don't pause and be all like, oh man, I don't know why people got offended by that. No, most, like about 95% of the time, I know that it's going to be offensive. The other 5%, I'm really caught off guard and I'll be like, why everybody offended? But 95% of the time, I know why people are offended. And she know what she said and she said what she said, you know? The school bus drivers are getting 2,000 to 3,000 sign-on bonus. Yes, a lot, and it's funny because a lot of truck driver jobs, like they give you like this, like 50K just to join and stuff like that, just to sign up. So yeah, it's crazy. Like these people make a decent living. Like it's not low on the totem pole. So it's weird, her whole thing, but you know, it gave us a conversation to talk about. So hey, thank you, Eboni. Eboni is 39 years old. She hasn't found a husband or children. As Dr. Phil says, how? Right. How's that working for you? On top of 17 buses and 17 hour. Okay. I dated 2 bus drivers. My uncle was a bus driver. My cousin is still a bus driver, and they make money. Exactly, they make money. So I never heard of a bus driver not making money. So that whole thing that she said just sounded dumb. In the Bay Area, these bus drivers make good money. Exactly, we both in the Bay, so we know they make good money. Maybe she was talking about a school bus driver, but even a school bus driver makes good money too. There's a lot. I think the only ones that probably pay on the low totem pole as far as drivers, I would say probably like an Uber or taxi or something like that. But the bus driver, and even Uber and taxi and stuff make good money. Let's not even play them. So you can't even use that as an example, you know? But let's go ahead and move on to Jamie Foxx, because I wanted to talk about this and I wanted to end this with the Jamie Foxx thing. So Jamie Foxx had posted his first post since, you know, he's been in the hospital. He said, I appreciate all the love, feeling blessed. And then with the emojis, right? Now, this comes from yesterday after everybody said he was knocking on death's door. He's not looking too good. Remember, I had said the day before everybody started reporting that, you know, I heard he's not doing too well. And then his friend even came out and was all like, hey, please pray for Jamie. He's not doing, you know, we need to keep him in his prayers to make him get better, blah, blah, blah. So it was not looking good. So I'm not going to say, because like I said, I love Jamie Foxx. I would never want to put anything bad on him. I'm not saying that he's not doing better. However, I don't think he wrote this shit, y'all. I'm just gonna say it. I don't think he wrote it. I could be wrong. But I don't think he wrote this. I think somebody wrote it for him. Just like I told you guys beforehand, they were going to expose that he was in the hospital and he had some kind of emergency, blah, 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 before. So his daughter came out and made that statement like, oh, he went in for a procedure and they were able to catch, he had a medical emergency. They were able to catch it. And now he's recovering and doing fine. So his daughter tried to cover it up before it got worse. So this seems like another situation after those reports that he wasn't doing good and all this stuff. Boom. All of a sudden he makes a post on his Instagram. It's not, I still don't feel confident about it. And again, you guys are allowed to disagree. I don't mind that. I'm not feeling confident that Jamie wrote that. I'll say that. I'm not feeling confident that he wrote it, but I could be wrong. Let me know if you got what you guys think in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Jamie did write it. Put a 2 in the chat. Hail to the nah. Let's go. Dang, Casey, I think you was the only one in the chat. Everybody else all like, nope. And Stacey, I wanted to talk about the whole stroke thing. Who was the nurse from the other day, y'all? Not yesterday, but the day before, there was a nurse in here, and she had said if it was a stroke, he would not be in the hospital. He would have moved to a rehabilitation center, even a heart attack and stuff like that. It seems that it was something maybe more serious than what's being reported as, a stroke or a heart attack. Like he would have moved to a rehabilitation center. They usually don't keep you in the hospital for rehab. They move you out. They definitely move you out. Even him being a celebrity and stuff like that, I would see them probably doing more of an in-home care than keeping him in the hospital. That just seems a little, it's very worrisome, because if you are okay, you don't stay in the hospital. That's what has people worried. And especially it's been over 20 days now of him being in the hospital. You don't stay in the hospital if you're okay. You stay in the hospital when something is wrong. And again, I would never want to say that he is knocking on, however, all the pieces are not there. And like I said before too, you guys, in real life, when we go through shit, we don't have to share it. We don't have to tell nobody. We just go through it. And then when we come back, we are like, hey, I'm here. I'm good. Unfortunately, because he's a celebrity, he can't go privately. He can't deal with whatever he's dealing with privately, He deals with it publicly because everybody's in his business. Then you have people, starting rumors and stuff like that. Another thing on that Shazam show, they're saying that Nick Cannon is going to replace him for the time being. So Jamie is going to be out for a while, He's definitely not going to just come back and be okay like nothing happened. This is whatever he's dealing with. Again, I can't confirm what exactly it is. All we know, it was a medical emergency. But he's not going to come back like 100% just hopping out the bed and like nothing happened. Whatever he's going through, this will definitely be a long journey for him. That's the best way I can put it. It's going to be a long journey. And just like I said the other day, when they ended up replacing him well, not replacing him, but used a stunt double to finish out the filming of the movie, that kind of let us know, like, okay, well, it's a little bit more serious than what we think it is. I see y'all talking about Nick Cannon in the chat. It's going to distract me. That's why I kept on going. But them continuing the movie without him kind of gave us pause, like, oh, okay, some might not be right about this situation, you know? But let me know what you guys think in the chat, definitely. Also, I'm going to do a 30-second countdown. If we can do the prayer emojis for Jamie Foxx, I would definitely appreciate that and love that because, like I said, I'm a fan of Jamie Foxx. I don't want nothing bad to happen to him. All right, you guys, thank you. All right, so y'all always tell me that I finish off the show too soon and stuff like that. So I thought, why not have a little fun and a little controversy at the same time? If y'all want to ask me about any questions about what I think about something, um, any topic, situation, it can also be about another YouTuber or it can be about a beef going on. If y'all want to ask me anything, go ahead. I don't mind. The floor is yours. Ask me any question and I'll look out for it. How do you get the black hands? Oh, like the yo, sexy 60. You gotta clarify what you meant by that. She meant the prayer hand emojis. Um, you should be able to like hold down on the emoji and then click on it, and then it should yeah, it should let you choose the color of the hands because I was like black. I was all like, because I'm black, that's why my hands are black. I was confused, but I get it now. Yeah, yo, I did because I was thrown off. I was like, huh? Somebody asked me about Kool-Aid. Hold on. Yeah, Android lets you now. iPhone people don't start that shit. Android lets you change it too. Has Jamie made the news? At least TMZ. Yes, he's made it to the news in TMZ. No, I didn't see your comment. Let me go back up real quick. See the prayer hands. I'm looking to have a fundraiser for her. Oh, for who? For who? Oh, okay, you an Android fan. Good. And who were you looking to have a fundraiser for, Princess? Yeah, that was funny though. I like that one. Did you see the back and forth between your two favorite CCs? It was the silliest mess ever. No, I did not watch it. Probably because I was watching the Warriors game, which the Warriors won. And then also, no, I don't. They go back and forth a lot. I'm picturing that you're talking about Six Face and Dirty Neck. So yeah, they go back and forth. I think honestly, they want to each other. That's what I think. Honestly, I think that's what I think. Let me repost. Yes, please repost it. I think Cooter Brown page is down for now. Oh, I didn't hear about that. What? No, I'm so disconnected from Cooter Brown and all that. I've been happy. There's this trashy guy named Cooter Brown, for those of you who don't know. I'm so far from it and out of that drama. I try not to even look at anybody's video. Even if I like the person, I don't look at it because I just don't want it in my algorithm. But I wouldn't be surprised. And it's like, damn, finally, like the guy is complete like shit, complete racist. Yes, I do. Yes. Sometimes you'll see me like, oh, I'm watching the game or something like that. My teams, of course, the Raiders, even though they in Vegas now. The Warriors, as far as basketball, baseball. I don't really watch baseball. Go A's, of course. I'm from Oakland, so of course, go A's. But yeah. Um, Wait, you say I try to forget about. Oh, yeah, exactly. I try to forget about him. Please keep Simone. Oh, Boucher in your prayers. She had a stroke. Oh, wow. Oh, no. Yes, definitely. I didn't know about that. Wow. Okay, and that's why you're gonna do a fundraiser. Yeah, please hit me up in the DM and let me know. I'll definitely share it. Okay, that's not for me. Okay, I'm going kind of out of order now. How many honey buns you think Liar House um, Probably a lot. I'll say that. How do you feel about the Shanquella Robertson case? No charge are being brought up against the Cabo Six. Oh, that is a hard one. I feel like it's bullshit. The Cabo Six need to go to jail. Um, it's a hard situation because, deep inside emotionally, I'm all like, that's some bullshit. But then I see the other side of the coin too. They already embalmed Shanquilla when they sent her back to the US. So when the US did their autopsy, the body is embalmed. And that's why they always say like the first 24 hours or 48 hours are very important. So then they can, do a thorough investigation. So with her body embalmed, I can see it would be hard for them to try to I think with these cases being in a different country, it's so different. If it happened in the US, it'd be one thing, but I think when it comes to being in a different country, it's another thing. Now, I'm hoping Mexico goes ahead and does the right thing and asks for the extradition and get their ass back over there and put them in. I don't care what, it can be the US jail, Mexico jail, just put their ass in jail. But I'm always hopeful that, damn, hopefully something can be done because there's no way in hell you watch that video of that girl hitting Shanquilla and be like, oh, yeah, that shit's okay. No way in hell that could ever happen. No. That is crazy. Oh, Wu Chao, you said me too. Right, get a room already. We're bored with it. We need a new storyline. We're bored. You're boring us. Okay, I know I'm done miss hell of your questions. The fact that everything was on video makes me sick. Exactly. That's the problem. Like we see it on video. That's where I keep running into a wall. No one is saying anything, Wu Chao. By now we heard something good or bad. Oh, I might have missed. Oh, yes, I have not talked about that yet. That's a good one. Okay, so Judy, Brat's wife, had came out and said, "Oh, she made like a little joke, and she said the real reasoning was because of the DNA or whatever. She has like some pre-existing issues and didn't want to match. I think maybe it was the sickle cell trait." Now, she didn't say what it was, but I know that, as far as Black people, we carry the sickle cell trait. And so she probably wanted to make sure that it was best the percentage wouldn't be that high for the child to end up with, some kind of medical issue. Now, I know that there's a low percentage of Black men because I was talking like, I don't know any Black men who, donate their sperm. I know I haven't, but did they look hard enough? Like, did they go everywhere to look, or they just said in that area there was like, hey, this is what we want, that's it? Like, what? Like, was there no other options? Now, I wouldn't want them to force themselves to have a black sperm donor if they said they have X, Y, and Z. I wouldn't want them to force themselves. They already have kind of like an unconventional relationship. So, as far as staying in the standards, I don't feel like they have to. But did they search hard enough? That's what I want to know. Or did they only look in their little area and that was it? So, that's what I think about that. What is your favorite Kool-Aid? Great. Definitely great. I don't call it purple. I call it grape. Damn it. Different rules in Mexico. The family can sue them civilly like OJ. Right. That is true. But I think they want to see them in jail. Oh, you think they just want to mix it? And you know what, too? And I think, again, with the preference thing, if they wanted that, they should have just said that. I think saying, oh, the black ones look like Jiminy Cricket. Like, come on now. Like, really? My dad and friend had a stroke and both didn't go to the rehab right away. Oh, okay, Rachel. How long did it take them to go to the rehab? If you don't mind saying, of course. What's up, Miss Ree? I didn't see you earlier. There was one black man, he was not attractive. Okay, so they're saying that it was only one in the book, and that was it. That's all they had was one. Okay, again, Tony, they must have only looked in that area. No, I know I haven't, but there gotta be more than one. Come on now. I know you can't just be like, okay, I'm only in this area, so I can only pick from this pool. Like, I'm thinking like they probably could have went to anywhere, and I think they wasn't looking hard enough. That's what I think. Nobody asked about him. His people keep posting his health issue. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Okay, I get it. I thought they would have used the sperm of a family member or close friend. I don't know if I would donate mine to a close friend or something like that. That might be a little, I don't know. Again, that's probably why they went with a white man. I'm sorry, I did not want to procreate with a short man. Call me Eben. See, we go with the preference thing. Right. See, preference. Exactly. But hey, at least you saying it and that's it. You ain't saying like, oh, well, ain't going on in a tangent about how black people are on the lowest totem pole. And, you just saying, I just didn't want a short man. That's what you said. And I respect it. People specifically said they wanted them to go to the Mexican jail. Right. I know a lot of people did say that because they said they want them to go to the hardest jail. And I agree with them. They don't need an easy time. They need to live a rough, horrible life. I might have got to your question afterwards, Tony. Not a fan, right? Not a family. Yeah, I didn't even look at that one. Yeah, but not a family member either. That might be too close for comfort. Yeah. They might have played themselves because my cousin and her hubby both aren't lookers, but they have. You know what? They always say ugly people make cute babies. They always say that ugly people make cute babies, or at least one ugly person and one fine person make a cute baby. But usually two fine people don't make cute baby. It's something about that. Miss Rhea, I know what you're talking about. They always say that theory. I've heard that before. Black people don't give away sperm. Yeah, that is true. I don't know the percentage, but I know it's very low. Do you have a favorite or likable content creators to watch? Asking for a friend. Anyone in the beef sector, I would say that. I would say Jay Wilson, of course, Deirdre Helena Wells, Tracy, damn, what's her name? Why am I running blank? Is it Simone? I actually am subscribed to her channel, but why can't I think of her name? Not Simone. I'm gonna think of her name. Timothy Blaine, those people, I would definitely Timothy Blaine, watch those people. Yeah, the B sector, perfect. I love those people. They're very very entertaining. Watch those. Is Vegas still here? Vegas, Brianna Simone. Boom, boom, ding, 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 ding. Yes. Shout out to Brianna Simone. I'm sorry that I forgot your full name. Brianna Simone, those kind of people. Yeah, definitely watch them. I would say watch VS, but VS always privates her videos or put them on members only, so you can't watch her videos. I know I never do because she puts it on members only. So yeah, but the B sector, definitely them. As far as people not in the B sector, I would say Heart of Inspiration. I love watching Heart of Inspiration. Naughty Love. I love watching Naughty Love. You guys know who Naughty are. Make It Make Sense. Gray Hair Diva, Sherelle Perry. Those would be like the other content creators I would say in this sector that I check out and that I watch. Yeah. Is that cruise to nowhere? Yeah, that's where the cruise is. The cruise to nowhere is in the B sector. That's the one that I'm thinking about going on. Duchess Kelly. I've watched them a couple of times. I haven't watched them a lot, but a couple of times. Oh, House of Princess. Yes, House of Princess. How I forget Princess and she in the goddamn chat. I'm sorry, Princess. Don't. House of Princess. So Debonair. Mace as well too. Yeah, there's a lot of people as well too. If we're going with this whatever sector, it's supposed to be celebrity gossip, but it's more the doo-doo mama sector. Yeah, whoever. Yeah, as far as these people, the candy shop. Check out her too as well. Yeah, I kind of because there's a lot of old interviews about Steve Harvey and then Marjorie and all that. I kind of want to go back and look at some of their old interviews and stuff like that, because there was a lot of clues in some of the old stuff I remember hearing about them and kind of put it together in one video. So yeah, I have heard about it, but I'm researching. Flipper. Sexy 60. Are you asking me about Flipper or are you just saying Flipper? Do I watch him? No, I do not watch him anymore. Used to, but I don't watch him. The Baby Beluga Wellhead. No. Yeah, there's just some people I'm all like, nah, no, thank you. Just give me the Cliff Notes. Yeah, I seen that video. Crazy. In Sexy 60, I'm not mad or anything like that. Don't worry. No, I'm talking about like, as far as like Steve Harvey kids and stuff like that. Like they've said the one daughter, I forgot her name, but she has said a lot though in the past. So that's why. Yeah, it's I remember, and this is another thing why I want to do research. I remember Wendy Williams had said something to the effect of like, oh, you guys get mad at me because I don't talk about Steve Harvey. And she was all like, I was actually around. Like, I was friends with Steve Harvey and his ex-wife and blah, blah, blah. And there's an old clip of her saying this, and I want to find that to remember exactly what she said about it, That's why I kind of want to do a little bit more research to it. Oh, you like Fatima? Okay. I'll probably be doing less celebrity news. This sector has become trash. I'll be doing more real news and entertainment. And I love when you do like the real news and like you pull up the clips and then we watch it together. I love when you do that, Princess. And we need real news, and especially from our perspective, Do you smoke fentanyl weed? No. If the edibles don't have it in there, then no, I don't do the fentanyl. That was funny. What do you think of ASAP Rocky calling that girl funny looking before mushing her in the face to climb? Oh, um, first of all, you putting your nasty ass hand on my face to using it to climb over the fence is disrespectful. She should have when he had his hand over. She should have bit his fucking finger off. Just rip that finger off. That's what she should have did. I don't care who you are. Don't use me as a stepping stone for you to climb over. He could have just hopped over that. He didn't have to put his hands on her and stuff like that. Now, I didn't hear him calling her funny looking. I didn't hear about that. You think Ben and Jennifer Lopez are going to last? No. Definitely not. No. No, they ain't lasting at all. She should have sucked his. Oh Lord, wait, hold on. Hold on. There's an account called Baphomet, and they say he should have. Wait, what? Oh no, I don't. Yeah, I'll pass on that one. Wait, look, they just caught two dudes that had enough fentanyl to get every person in Chicago high. They asses got caught in the airport. Wow. I also heard like this other story, like this girl and like, well, these people had went to Mexico and they claim that no, they went to Atlanta and they claim that the girl went to go get a BBL, but really they're transporting drugs and trafficking drugs and shit like that. So yeah, I believe it. When are you and Andrea getting there? I don't know. Hey, if you pay for the wedding, we can make it happen. Shout out to Andrea if she's watching, happen to catch the replay. He did. They have the audio. He said something like, "Get out of the way with your funny look." Oh, whoa! He said, "Wow." They got the audio. I can't excuse that. That's some bullshit. And here's the thing too: ASAP Rocky is funny looking. Let's be honest. Rihanna is the star. He is the flunky in their relationship. That's disrespectful. Yeah, I like this little Q&A at the end. Like I said, y'all can ask me anything. Them questions that you want to know about other YouTubers, you can even ask me that. I don't mind. Coming out with a segment, the Karen Report. Oh, yes. And I think you should turn that into YouTube Shorts. The Karen Report, turn that into YouTube Shorts. Bet you'll blow up. Trust me. Right. People like it. What's up, Shy? Thank you for coming. Let me see. Have you heard of the term gang stalking? If so, do you think that happens to celebrities before they are unalived? Also, have you looked into MK Ultra and V2K because Beyonce is doing definitely under it? No, I have not heard about that. And also the gang stalking. I've heard a little bit about it, but have I dived into it and looked at? No, so I cannot give you a fair opinion about it. Do I think that's what happens with every celebrity that becomes unalive? No, I don't believe that's every situation and scenario. But is it possible? I'll leave it at that. Definitely not Andre or Andrea. Nothing with the A and D in it. No, we'll have to change that. Right. Okay, Miss A.T. Elliott said she wants some of him. Candace Owens wore her own merchandise called Proud Karen on her Candace also defended that guy who choked out the black dude on the subway train. We already know how Candace is. She's supposed to be like the person that goes against the black people, because let's be honest, if you have somebody like Candace Owens going against black people, you can't necessarily call it racism. So it's easy for her to push out her bullshit and her narrative. That's why I barely like cover her, because I already know what she is and what she's about. You know, she doesn't believe in racism, but yet she sued the college for racism. But then she tried to backtrack and say she didn't know what was going on. Yeah, opportunist at best. Wait, you said she will? Why you say that? Oh Lord, Charlie trying to get me canceled. What started you doing commentary on YouTube? Ooh, Sussex, Sandra, that's a good question. The pandemic. Now that we're going into the third year of me doing this, the pandemic. I've always wanted to do social media, be a content creator. I just was always working and just couldn't put in the effort. And so when I had that downtime, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this shit full force, and that's what kind of got me started. Now, as far as like YouTubers who inspired me, I wouldn't say necessarily like anybody in this sector. Like I always give credit to, believe it or not, the channels that I used to watch before I became like a YouTuber was Deaf Noodles, who did like commentary on YouTube, celebrities, politics. Deaf Noodles. Now his channel is not the same like it used to be, but that was somebody who I looked into as far as like commentary and stuff like that. And that was somebody I watched before even joining YouTube. Other than that, I was watching like maybe like backyard wrestling or just random shit like how to make something, how to make peach cobbler or some crazy shit like that. Well, that's not crazy, but something random like that. Also, when it was originally Kaya and T.S. Madison on the Queen's Court, that shit was funny as hell. I was also watching that too. So as far as like commentary, I would have to say that show and then Deaf Noodles, which are two different contrasts. I would say those were the shows that kind of inspired me. But I don't have the same style as them though. But I would say that would be like the inspiration, you know? Let me try to get into your questions. The views expressed by Charlie Brown do not even, I'm just kidding. They better be playing Candace Owens on. Let me read your comment, New York Chicken Wing. They better be paying Candace Owens in absence about like they paid Clarence. Oh, you know, and I haven't talked about the Clarence Thomas thing because I feel like he already wasn't shit. And I don't know if you're supposed to talk about your Supreme Court justices, but just the way of his thinking. And whenever it comes to like the raccoons, and cut off the RA part, whenever it comes to the raccoons, I just don't have any respect for them. It is what it is, you know? Yeah, those were back in the day. Yeah. That's when YouTube was innocent. Now I don't know what the hell's going on with YouTube. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, of course. That was a good question. I like that. All right. So if there is no more questions, I'll go ahead and end the show right there. Um, like you know how you can't say things about the president and stuff like that as far as like wanting to cause harm and shit like that, like those kind of things. Like I don't want my mouth to get so reckless and then end up with the FBI knocking on my door. Like, and then y'all pull up the police cam video and then play. I don't know where people got that shit from. Why do y'all always pull the police cam video and shit like that. AT3. Oh, that's what the baby would be named. AT3. Nah, no. What do you think of Missy Elliott induction? Oh, so I had actually made a post when she was nominated, but now she's officially going in. I love Missy Elliott. I would say it's funny when they talk about who's the best female rapper, blah blah blah. My answer is always Missy Elliott. And the thing about Missy Elliott is that she has written for other people. She can do R&B, she can do pop, she can do whatever. When it comes to Missy Elliott and creating magic in the studio, especially her and Timbaland, nothing can compare. Missy Elliott is a legend, and she deserves all the flowers and everything. And I love me some Missy Elliott. That was a good question. I like that. Question, you've been doing commentary for 3 years. Is it what you expected, good or bad? Good and bad. Oh, shit, no. No, I did not know what to expect. I definitely didn't expect it to be this. And I think that's why I'm so open and honest about my journey, because I wish someone would have told me what YouTube was really like the ins and out and like the shit that you basically learn on the spot. Hell, I'm still learning on the spot at the end of the day. So I wish somebody would have told me about it first. But I would say this. I don't regret anything that I've gone through because it made me stronger at the end of the day. I think the bad thing is all the BS that comes along with it, but the good would be you guys. If I never did this, I would not have been able to meet you guys. So in a way, this was a blessing in disguise. And I have to remember the blessings when I want to remember all the bad. Let me tell you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Miss Reese said, I'm proud of your growth. I subscribed and unsubscribed from you so many times back in the day. Well, thank you, Miss Reese, for coming back. I appreciate that. I think the shadow banned me because of the BS I talk on the news. They don't want exactly. And and it's sad because with the Black content creators, I notice YouTube will keep us in this box with all the drama. If I put in the title like, Princess has a green toe and she picked it off and eat it, there'll be like 1,000 people in here. But some like, hey, let's uplift each other and let's build a business. A title like that doesn't get nowhere. And YouTube puts us in this certain algorithm because they know people like drama and that's what they want to see. And so remember, TikTok admitted like everything that goes viral is handpicked. They pick the things, they have a button to make it go viral. So just know that when people say like, oh, well, it's because it's not that. No, all these social media platforms look to see what it never just happens by chance. It's all by design and plan. Exactly. She is a genius. Yes. Oh, so you put Queen Latifah, then Missy. Okay. She earned it. Yeah. YouTube is hell, but it can also be fun and financially great. Exactly. It's the latter more than the hell part. Oh yeah, I covered that. And I kept on thinking that it was crying out loud. It's thinking out loud. Thank you. Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. I know. Yeah, I know it's early over there too. Yeah, thank you for being up right now watching. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the show right there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. I will probably chop this up to make it shorter. We almost been here for 2 hours. My butt done went numb, so I need to get the hell up out of this chair. But I want to say I appreciate all of y'all, all the love. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Hopefully the topics kept y'all interested and kept y'all, awake and going with me. Y'all been rocking with me in here. And we're going to continue to keep doing the damn thing. So I ain't even mad, y'all, but I want to say I love y'all. Be safe out there. Make sure before you guys go to bed tonight, tell somebody that you love them. Make sure you do that. and I will also do the same thing. Oh, one more question. Hold on. How many subscribers do you have to have before you get your first paycheck? So you have to have 1,000 subscribers and then 4,000 watch hours before you can get invited into the YouTube partner program or whatever. So yeah. So as long as you have that, and no strikes on your channel, then they accept you. You fill out the information, and then you can start getting revenue and stuff like that. Did that answer it? Okay, good. All right, y'all. We out of here. Deuces. Love y'all. We out.